Temperatures currently into the upper 70s as well as the lower 80s this morning. Temperatures as highs getting into the low to mid 90s.
And this morning on DC News Now, a car swept away by rushing water in Arlington. How emergency crews made a daring rescue. And a new park opening in Virginia honoring a fallen firefighter who was killed in a home explosion. We're telling you about a big investment reshaping medicine for a local pharmaceutical company and the impact it's going to have on our economy.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Haley Mylon. This Sunday morning, we're taking a live look outside, and 8 o'clock is your time there. As you can see, another hot day. Shocker. Derek Bowen in for Brittany Ward with more good news when it comes to DMV weather. I've been talking about how the thunder terrified me in the middle of the night. It was so loud, Derek. That paired with how hot it's been, it's just...
I was going to say, which good news in the weather are we talking about? Are we talking about next weekend? Because there's some good news coming. Okay. More of a comfortable weekend to get out and about. Today, not one of the days, as we head into midweek, it just gets brutal out there with near record high temperatures as we head into midweek. We're looking at, of course, temperatures 94 for today. A few scattered thunderstorms out there if possible. A few of those being on the strong side. As we head in towards your Monday, we're a little bit more, a bit on the drier side. 95 will be the temperature, getting up to 98 for your Tuesday. Hot and sunny indeed. And as we head into Wednesday, that's when we're going to be approaching a record high temperature. As we head for today, though, we'll fall short of that by a few degrees. High yesterday, though, was around 92. That was relatively close to where we are supposed to be for this time of year. However, we're going to warm up a few more degrees as we head about today. And with the heat and humidity as well, we have, of course, that heat advisory in effect from noon until 8 p.m. on this Sunday with heat index values up to 107. Now, most of this includes areas south of 66 along the I-95 corridor, including southern Maryland and also along the eastern shore.
All righty, Derek, thank you so much. I mean, there's some good news in there. It'll be nice at some point this week. Well, we begin this hour with breaking news out of Northwest DC. 3 people have been shot in DuPont Circle. They say it happened near Jefferson Place. So if you see police activity in the area, maybe avoid it. We're told that 3 men were rushed to the hospital for treatment of their injuries. Police still investigating and looking for the person responsible. And a man is dead this morning after a single car crash in Prince George's County. Police say it happened last night near Allentown Road and Leon Street. They say that the man was the driver of the car, died on the scene. They're now looking into how the crash happened. And a man is recovering in the hospital this morning after getting hit by a car in Montgomery County. Authorities say Saturday night it happened near Sundale and Rosemary Hill Drives. The man was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but the driver of the car that hit him stayed on the scene. Crews rescued a group of people from a creek in Arlington last night after their car was swept away in rushing water. Take a look at this picture at that car submerged in the creek. Officials say a driver tried to cross a bridge in Lubber Run Park as water rushed over it. The running water sweeping that car into the creek nearby. 5 people had to be rescued. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Arlington authorities warning drivers, if you see standing water or rushing water, don't attempt to cross it. An investigation underway after a man was found shot to death along a Laurel Road. The man found Friday night just before 10:30 on Laurel Bowie Road. Officials with the Prince George's County Police say he died on the scene. They haven't released his name yet. They're still investigating. And police also investigating after one man was stabbed to death in Southwest DC yesterday morning. They're searching for a suspect after finding a man stabbed to death early before 7 a.m. on Galveston Street. They say when they arrived on the scene, the man was not conscious or breathing. We're working to learn more at this hour about that investigation. Developing now in the district, a new recommendation says that 2 D.C. police officers should be fired for misconduct in the 2020 death of Karan Hilton Brown. Officer Terrence Sutton and Lieutenant Andrew Zabowski were pardoned by President Trump 2 days after he took office. They were convicted for their involvement in a chase and attempted cover-up of the moped crash that left a 20-year-old dead. It happened in the Brightwood Park neighborhood in Northwest. MPD says that the chase was unauthorized. A 119-page report filed by the Office of the D.C. Auditor says that rather than firing the officers, Police Chief Pamela Smith gave them a suspension with back pay. The department reaching a settlement with the officers, Sutton getting a 25-day suspension. Zabowski just fined $2,500 and he was allowed to retire. The man responsible for servicing a propane tank that sparked a deadly explosion at a Sterling, Virginia home faces several years in prison. Jurors convicted Roger Bentley earlier last week for his role in the February 2024 home explosion that claimed the life of Sterling volunteer firefighter Trevor Brown. There have been several tributes to Brown since the explosion. Our Dave Laval was there yesterday and shows us the newest commemoration.
Park stands here at the corner of Silver Ridge Drive and Seneca Ridge Drive in Sterling, Virginia. But it's not your typical park.
Those big white flowers, they're really pretty.
Little Nina Johnson and Len Jenkins get their first look at the new park that honors Trevor Brown, the Sterling volunteer firefighter killed in the February 16, 2024 house explosion that took place on this site.
I thought it was beautiful.
The Memorial Park opened Saturday morning. It includes paths for people to walk, benches where you can sit and reflect on what happened, plus a plaque with Brown's information sits on a rock that marks the exact spot where he lost his life.
I think it's an amazing example of how a community can come together when something bad happens and turn it into something good.
Volunteers raised the more than $30,000 needed to get the park built by K&H Landscaping and Ground Maintenance. The company's owner said he's proud to have completed the project on time.
We needed to build something for Trevor that would be here forever, and this will be here forever.
Loudoun County jurors convicted former propane tank technician Roger Bentley on Monday on charges related to the explosion. While neighbors support the park, one Sterling firefighter said he'd rather see a new house built on the property, as the park serves as a daily reminder of the life lost. Roger Bentley could spend up to 10 years in prison when he's sentenced November 6th. In Sterling, Virginia, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, thank you so much for that reporting there. Certainly a beautiful park and moving tribute to Brown. And neighbors in Montgomery County reacting after the council voted to approve the Missing Middle Housing Plan, the bill allowing developers to build multifamily homes on land along major corridors that currently are just zoned for single-family homes. That includes townhomes, duplexes, triplexes, and small apartment buildings. 15% of those units, though, have to be designated as affordable housing. On Tuesday, 8 council members voted in favor of the bill. Several neighbors, though, voicing their opposition, citing a number of issues that could arise in their neighborhood as a result.
This measure that we're taking up today reflects a collective commitment to improving housing options and housing affordability in our county.
Traffic, parking, overcrowding of the residents in general, and the infrastructure. What are you going to do to that? We already have problems where the water's got nowhere to go. The schools they're already overcrowded.
The Missing Middle Plan goes into effect November 1st. One of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies is getting a large investment that could reshape medicine manufacturing in our area, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Our Shanika Grimshaw has more on what it all means for our area in today's MoCo Minute.
AstraZeneca is committing $50 billion to the U.S., and this is a bold move to expand its global footprint.
The CEO of AstraZeneca says the investment will power the company's efforts to develop next-generation medicines. Pascal Surayat says, quote, "This investment shows our confidence in America's innovation and our long-term commitment to patients here and around the world." The company is expanding from Montgomery County to Northern Virginia, committing to a new multi-billion-dollar U.S. manufacturing facility focused on producing drug substances for chronic diseases like obesity and heart conditions. It will be their largest single manufacturing investment in the world. The facility will use cutting-edge technology, including artificial intelligence and automation. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin called the announcement transformational, saying it will create hundreds of highly skilled jobs and boost the nation's pharmaceutical supply chain. The investment also includes expanded R&D hubs in Maryland, Massachusetts, California, Indiana, and Texas, solidifying America's role as a global leader in biotech innovation.
AstraZeneca currently employs over 18,000 people in the U.S., and that number is expected to grow significantly as these projects roll out over the next 5 years. For MoCo Minute, I'm Shanika Grimshaw.
Thanks, Shanika. All right, a new Wallet Hub study reveals the states with the best school systems, and good news for parts of the DMV. Virginia coming in 4th on the list, Maryland ranking 9. And the study makes the rankings by looking at class size, funding, and safety. The district comes in at number 24. The study shows D.C. is hurt by having one of the highest dropout rates, and number 1 on the list is the state of Massachusetts. Derek, it is still summer, school not in session yet. I hate to jump the gun there talking about school, and it feels like summer out there too.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking with my parents because they're both educators in Arkansas, and they're already talking about getting ready to go back to school. They're going back on the 13th of August.
Where did summer go? When I was a kid, I presume when you were a kid, it was like until after Labor Day.
Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me. Maybe mid to late August at best. But nonetheless, we have, of course, very warm temperatures out there. One of the reasons why we typically don't have school in the summertime here across the U.S. is because of how hot it gets, especially into the summer months. And today is going to be one of the days that's going to see those temperatures getting up into the 90s, if not even higher to come as we head later on into the week ahead. Now, there is some relief coming our way, but today, not one of those days. We have those heat index values into the upper 80s around the area.